Hey friends, welcome to day 3. Today, we are talking about nothing that has to do with this specific relationship you're struggling with. So we're going to take that and we're going to push that all to the side. I want to ask you today if there is anything that has happened before this marriage, before this relationship. Think of times in your life that really shaped you and taught you how to love and how to be a partner and how to show affection and how to protect yourself, how to set boundaries. What areas of your life stemming from when you were a small child have become the foundation of what you learned of what a healthy relationship or healthy marriage looks like? We don't talk enough about what you carry into this relationship that your partner isn't even aware of. We walk in carrying everything that happened before, how we were loved, how we weren't loved, what we learned about conflict, trust, whether it was safe to need someone. Nobody hands you a manual for learning how to be in a healthy relationship. You just absorb it by growing up long before you even meet the person you'll marry. So we talk about like bringing in baggage into a relationship. A lot of times that baggage is something that you learned when you were 6, 7 years old. That's just been ingrained in you and has formed you into the person you are today and the decisions that you make today. Now, a lot of times that person isn't even aware of this foundation. I am a product of divorce. My parents divorced when I was young, and for a long time, they couldn't even be in the same room as each other. They loathed each other, and we saw it. We knew it. We experienced it. We walked that journey very close with them. And when Jim and I were separating and I was going through this healing journey myself, I realized at what an impact that had on my outlook on relationships. What did love look like? What did boundaries look like? What did respect look like? What did conflict resolution look like? All of these things were taught to me in a way that shaped, I absorbed. They were just showing me through their actions, and I was absorbing what they were, how they were acting, and I was creating that as a basis. Now, I give my parents grace. They did the best they could with what they had, but I had to unlearn a lot of things that kept me stuck in my view of what a healthy marriage and relationship looked like. Now, that's not an excuse for anything. That's not an excuse for being disconnected and not pursuing this relationship intentionally. And this was a learning lesson for me. It's an explanation. Understanding where your patterns come from doesn't erase your responsibility, but it does something super important. It takes away the shame that keeps you stuck. It takes away that unknown or why am I like this? I'm broken. You're not. You're not broken. You're not too much. You have learned to survive something, and some of what you learned just doesn't serve you anymore. This is what I want you to do today. I want you to take a notebook or just sit with your thoughts and ask yourself, what are some experiences from your life that have taught you how to love or how to protect yourself? You don't have to share them with me or anybody else. Just start to create that awareness around what situations in your life could have affected you. What do they look like? I talk about a divorce. That was when I was really young. And then there's different things throughout your life, like experiencing death and grief and the way that, we process that information. Could that have a lasting effect on you? Losing somebody you love, going through a bad breakup, experiencing trust issues. Were you in a relationship with somebody that created trust issues? And have you been able to process those, or do you carry those with you into the next relationship? And therefore you're seeing these foundations without even realizing you're doing it, but these feelings are coming up and ultimately playing a factor in the health of the current relationship. Today truly is about creating awareness around how our lives, our childhoods, our teenage years, our early adulthood, how have those years created the mindset and the foundation that you have today as a wife as a partner, as a friend, as a mother. You are just a product of your life and what has happened. And how does that influence your decisions and your reactions to what they are today? Because when I learned that, you're right, I do react because that's what I learned. I learned reaction. I learned this behavior, but that means I can change it. When we understand that this behavior is learned and therefore we can change it, what a blessing that is, because you're now laying the foundation for your future self. And we get to decide what kind of person we want to be, what kind of wife we want to be, what kind of partner we want to be, what kind of mother we want to be. We get to decide what that looks like moving forward for our future self. So what are we going to do today? Becoming the best version of yourself will require effort, growth, getting really brutally honest with yourself and saying, what can I learn from this? I may not love where I am right now. I may not love certain situations I've been in, but I can learn from them. And I can do something because of them to become a better version of myself so that my future looks different than my past. Tomorrow is the hardest day, but if I'm honest, it's the most freeing. So stay tuned and I'll see you tomorrow.